Beep, 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 beep. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to the Court of the EDI Jester. How are we, everybody? Become a warrior teacher, buy me some coffees. Let's get straight on with it today, for we are celebrating the Canadians. Well done to the Canadians. As you are aware, there was the other day a million march, which took place in Canada, right across the country. And I think it was a major blow to that. Who's Trudeau, isn't it? Justin Trudeau. Him. Yeah. Who said, it's a shame, well, it's dreadful. All these right-wing transphobes wander in my streets. All these right-wing transphobes, that's what he said, didn't he? What an idiot, right? Okay. So, these wokesters are going to get it shortly, aren't they? Does it feel like that to you? Do you sort of think to yourself, yeah, there's a reckoning. It's time. You know, there's something of a Arnold Schwarzenegger putting on his commando outfit going on. If you like, you know, or Ripley when she finally had enough. Right, I'm going for the mother. I'm going for the Queen. So it does feel a little bit like things are happening on a major scale. So we've got an article today from The Distance Mag, right, which is written by a guy called Matt Osborne on the 20th of September. So I thought it's a bit, you know, it's a little while after, but I don't want to forget what a monumental day this was for Canada. For many of us that are in this fight, and for those that are in Canada and in this fight, this is a big thing, folks, right? Okay, a major move. Lots of my warrior teachers were there, which is great, you know, so we love to see it. So large crowds, it says, have gathered, this is from the day, have gathered in cities across Canada today in a galvanising moment. Galvanising, that's a great word, isn't it? A galvanising moment of mass political action against gender ideology. Organising under the hashtag 1 Million March for Children, it is the largest protest of its kind in the world to date. Go Canada! Gender identity is deeply unpopular with the public, yeah, because it's a load of crap. So why do you think this march is taking place? Because people are foisting nonsense on folk and there's only so long they'll take it. Right? And this is the first time the divide of public opinion has been put on display, right? Wonderful. Okay, so there we go. You know, so the gender identity ideology, which I've said before, is grime or worm tongue, right? And there's King Theoden in his chair. And Grimer's in his ear going... we're getting to the point where Grime or Wormtongue will get taken to the front of the castle. Not castle, the thing on the hill. You know, and Aragorn will kick him down the steps, whoever it was who kicked him down the steps. Off you go, Grimer. Gender identity is Grimer Wormtongue. So, gender identity is deeply unpopular with the public, and this is the first time that divide of public opinion, has been put on display. You bet your bottom dollar. Did you see the footage? There was people going for miles. It was just felt like the culmination of so many things. I mean, Canada's much further down the road of the nonsense than we are. I mean, dangerously so. Dangerously so. So they've got to get rid of Trudeau because he's a nut job, isn't he? Right? This is the first time that it's been put on display. Our turnout is insanely better. Eva Kurilova tweeted from Calgary, Alberta. We know who Eva is. We've seen Eva. We saw Eva with a photograph, defiant in the face of that ridiculous nonsense merchant Trudeau. Go Eva! So that was great, okay? She posted the above photos, there's photos in the article for you, comparing the March turnout against the usual counter-protesters. This is a lot of people marching, she said. However, there is not much of a counter-protest. There was sort of 4 disgruntled blokes in M&S gear. This is a lot, not much counter. In Toronto, a large crowd had gathered at Queen's Park to demand hands off our kids. Thousands appear to have turned out in Parliament Hill in Ottawa, St John in New Brunswick, cities in Ontario, Halifax, Edmonton, Vancouver. The entire Canadian nation has risen up to say no to the cult of gender taking over their schools. At every location, protesters have completely outnumbered counter-protesters. After today, Canadians will know which side of this argument has real popularity and which side has been a manufactured consensus. So in Canada, the nutters are getting it up them and they ain't happy. How does it feel? Right? Reality. You know, because I know the TRA nutters watch me because they hate me. They can't help themselves. Have you seen what he said today? Take a screenshot and complain to YouTube. I will. Right. I will. They hate me, right? So I know they're watching. How you doing, you lot? All right? How does it feel? Right side of history? I like to win and I like to gloat. Good luck to you. After today, Canadians know which side of this nonsense. It's right and wrong, by the way. There's no parity. It's right and wrong. Just so you know, you both siders. Everyone who has been in this fight for a minute or more, anywhere around the world, should take a little time today to just stare at the visuals. Oh, yes, you should. Oh, it's glorious. Just stare at the visuals. Let it soak in that we really are the majority. We can break the power of this cult. We have the numbers, we will be heard, and we will win. Isn't this glorious? It's a defiant stance. Disinformation, misinformation, hate. Canadian politicians and teachers' unions are repeating the usual magic mumbo-jumbo incantations to the news media today. The spell is broken, however. Objections to cisgender, bias or transphobia no longer have any effect on a populace that has indeed educated themselves to understand these are meaningless words. Mere abracadabra. That's another lovely... I heard that word for ages. Abracadabra. There was a song, wasn't there? Abracadabra. I'm gonna reach out and grab you. There was a song called Abracadabra. Eva Korilova will likely have more to add about her experience later. In the meantime, her recent coverage of Canadian politics shows us how this issue percolated up from the grassroots and only lately became self-aware. Canadian political silence on gender ideology has been broken for good. It started late last spring with New Brunswick Primer Blaine Higgs raising the issues of school socially transitioning children. More recently, the issue took centre stage at the Conservative Party of Canada. Isn't that amazing? It's just so good, all right? I'm going to stop there because go and have a read, all right? It's worth having a read of. And they got some pictures as well, you know, so we can see where it's all going on. It's finally become a mainstream thing. The conversation is happening in Canada. The spell has been broken. The Canadians are great people, man, very welcoming people. They don't have that kind of acerbic sort of nature of the Brits, which I think there's something about us in there. We're a bit, don't poke the Brit because he'll say something snarky and we have a bit of a, you know, come on, that's enough of you. Get down off that pedestal. So I think they're wonderfully welcoming and inviting people. And I've got Canadian people on my Warrior Teacher programme, and they're marvellous to work with because they are so open to discussion and conversation. Although I do think sometimes I raise the hair on the back of their necks with the things I say, but that's okay. We're all different. But isn't this marvellous news? Canada moving forward. Canada, as we call it, and laughingly call it, because it's so mad and so mental. But I think Canada is moving forward now, and I think we'll see a new movement in Canada that's twice the size it was last week. All right? And on that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you because I'm not sure there's much more to say.